Welcome in, Geminis, to your July monthly tarot reading. Oops. So we're tapping into the collective of Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Geminis, and getting some information guidance for you all to help you this month. Whether it's just to get some awareness, to help give you some guidance around any situations that you're dealing with, but take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Also, check out your other sign readings. For example, if you are a Gemini sun, you can check out your rising or moon sign. Depending on, the time, I always listen to all my signs because one of them may really be spot on. So if this one doesn't resonate as much, check out the other ones. If you are interested in a personal reading, you can schedule one with me via my website, which is in the description below. And if you like this video, appreciate the likes and any comments of how this resonates for you. Let me know how you're all doing. If you want to stay connected and join the Lyran Soul Tribe, hit that subscribe and you can stay connected to future videos I post. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with the oracle cards and get a little bit of a foundation of the energies for you for this month. So let's get started here. So what do we got here? Purity, leadership, miracles. So I definitely am picking up with this purity card. There is like this purification that you're going through. Purifying a big thing we talked about emotions here. Again, going back to like Geminis aren't like emotions isn't their space, right? You guys are, like I said, air signs. So you tend to feel more comfortable in your head with thinking things through, being more logical. But there is some emotions that I do feel like are really deep that are impacting your life in really big ways that you're not like fully aware of. And there is this need to purify. Like sensing this like emotional purification, and almost like because emotions are represented by water. And I see like almost like a waterfall, like washing over you and you being receptive to it. With this picture here, I don't know if this is a wolf or a fox, but it has two different eyes. And I do feel like there's this like imbalance in perspective. It's like your perspective, you're seeing out of one eye a certain thing, and then out of the other eye, you're seeing also something different. And it tends to distort your view of reality. And part of that purification is also bringing the two perspectives together in alignment so that you're seeing things clearly. Like it's almost like someone who has bad vision, right? Maybe one of their eyes has, again, that depth perception issue where the other one doesn't, or there's that like bifocal piece to this. And it's like trying to find the right balance to see things clearly. And I do feel like the universe and your higher self is really asking you, it's time for you to do this, because I do feel like this distorted view, and not seeing people, like I'm getting people for one, like you're not seeing people as they really are. And it definitely has caused you some heartache. And it's asking you too, with the leadership card here, there's this level of, with the bear, there's part of this card is talking about protection. and feeling protected to take the lead, and knowing that if you take the first step in going out there and putting yourself out there and maybe being emotionally vulnerable and available, it's like the energy shifts. And that's where all of a sudden we can move mountains here. And that's what a message I'm getting. I saw the mountains and I'm hearing moving mountains. And that's really a miracle, right? Because who can really move mountains? But you can, Gemini, if you listen to the learnings of your soul and what it's trying to say to you right now. But I actually want to read the Purity card because I've never actually pulled that card. So I'm going to read it for you. No matter what has happened in the past, everything can be fresh and new again. The purity of your soul is shining through everything that you encounter. You are entering into a period of grace. Simply open your heart and know that the best is yet to be. The past does not need to equal the future. Your future can be and will be shimmering, sparkling, and bright. Old limiting patterns are dropping away. Reoccurring challenges are releasing. This is a time of redemption, forgiveness, and holy healing. So the thing that popped up is this reoccurring challenges, because I do feel like the pattern, right? It said patterns too. It's like they're reoccurring because you get stuck in the same pattern. And part of that is because you won't see things differently. You only see out of your personal perspective. But your perspective is really distorted. And I know that might be hard to swallow, but again, clearing this deception from your eyes, I'm seeing. And it's like, it's a really clear metaphor of like the water just clearing these limiting ideas, beliefs. Again, there's stuff from the past that really has distorted your views. And it's time to really change the patterns because you've created a lot of challenges for yourself. But good things are on the horizon when you shift. And when the perspective shifts and you start approaching things differently, right, with this leadership card, all of a sudden, that's where miracles can happen. And it's almost like miraculously these challenges shift when you're energetically clear, your eyes are clear and your head is clear. But there is usually what that is from is pain from the past, right? It's emotional. It's actually based from emotions, which again, I feel like you don't want to really look at. So let's see, let's pull some tarot. So the first card out we have is the Two of Cups. Yeah, this is really about finding that emotional balance and the cups are emotions. And again, it's like going back to the basics and learning how to almost like, I feel like you're having to learn all over again what it means to connect with your emotional body because you don't feel comfortable there. You got the Chariot. There's the Tower, really clearing and creating that harmony. It's interesting. We have the two here in the Chariot. There's the two Sphinxes. In this card, we have the animal's two eyes that are off. And it's like bringing that duality back, bringing that balance in. And I shuffled. I do that once in a while when I get too into the reading here, but I'm going to pull these ones. So we have clearing the Emperor here. I do feel like this is more representing you and going, I think this card just has so much, this is like the basis of your reading here, but, and also with the leadership, because usually the Emperor is the leader, right? But I feel like you lead out of ego, control, stubbornness, and not willing to shift your ways. And there it goes back to that perspective. You won't change your perspective. It's like you just are so stuck in that, nope, this is the way it is, and I have to do it my way. But that's what's keeping you stuck and creating these challenging these challenging experiences. Knight of Pentacles too. I mean, this has been, for one, what I'm picking up in this card is like he has all his armor on. And it's like, this is really a protective mechanism for you. But what this has done is it's made things in your life very slow and tedious. And difficult and hard, right? That Knight of Pentacles is slow energy. He's really methodical and like, nope, I got to do it this way and I got to do it like, there's a perfectionism energy to that as well. Like it has to be done my way, even though it might not be the easiest, fastest, most efficient way. You're going to do it that way. And it just, what it does is you move forward very slowly. But something's got to kick you in the butt here. This King of Wands. So on the other side of this, on the opposition, or I shouldn't say opposition, on the opposite side, the King of Wands, he is utilizing more his, this is like the ultimate manifester in the deck besides the Magician. The King of Wands is using inspired action. He's aligned with his, because the wands and the fire really represent almost like our higher self, our connection to source, and he's using that instead to gain motivation and to be inspired. And his perspective is almost in this mode of surrender, and he's just allowing to connect with his higher self to align him to what is right, and that's where he creates things very quickly. I did it again, but I guess there's a reason. So we have to leave behind some emotional baggage. There's emotional baggage that we have to leave behind for us to get on the other side and to really bring in our true happiness. Because I feel like you have had a challenging maybe go for a while or even life because of you tend to stay on the kind of the negative side of the Emperor. And that's where we can really access these emotions that have been stuck for a long time because of our, and this is all tied to the past, things that we've been through in the past that have caused us heartache and pain. And we just, it's almost like we refuse to let it go because we're just not going to allow, and maybe you're not consciously aware of it, but you definitely have not let go of some things. And that continues to be your motivation, your reactiveness, why you do the things you do, why you're in a protective state is all from emotional baggage from the past. All right, let's see what's going on externally, Gemini. Four of Wands. Definitely a big impact to your house and home and your relationships. And Seven of Swords, Wheel of Fortune. It's time. Like the universe is like, nope, you have to learn the lesson. And you have to address this emotional stuff. Because that's where the miracles align with the Ten of Pentacles here. That's where we can finally bring in good things into our life. We can manifest abundance. We can actually find happiness. Because this state right now is not a state of happiness. It's really a state of control. And it's almost like too, you're running from your happiness, I see here. It's like in these two cards, like he's running from the Four of Wands, which is family and love and connection and like abundance. Like, I don't think you know you're doing it, but you are running away from your happiness. And it's because you feel, again, this card is about distorted views. There's a distorted perspective you have that, for one, there's not enough, right? He's kind of, the Seven of Swords card is about this guy's like secretly stealing swords from other people because he doesn't have enough. And he's trying to do it in a way that no one's aware of. And it's almost like he's not even aware of the motivation. And the motivation is really out of pain and like delusion from heartache and pain from the past, that he doesn't have anyone to support him. He doesn't have the connections. So he needs to, you know, steal his way. And you're stealing, like, not just like physically stealing things from people. You have to have the upper hand mentally. And so what you do is you end up sucking the life and the connection and the emotional connection, right? Because you're just more aligned mentally to your thoughts, because swords. Instead of creating with cups, creating really emotional attachment and connection, because you're not going to create true emotional connection because it's too that's too scary for you, because that's a place where you've been too hurt before and there's too much pain there. I just want to get one for the Four of Wands here, a clarifier. Yeah, definitely two. Again, same thing. Two in you're in this mental alignment. You're more approaching your relationships from a real mental place instead of an emotional place. I feel like too, when you communicate, you tend to be a little too sharp with your tongue. You don't communicate with people in a way that creates connection again. You tend to cut off connection. This can be people that are a little too also critical. The Queen of Swords can be a bit critical of people. And what she does is she severs the connection. So there's definitely this theme of like, what the universe wants you to do is to create stronger, loving, emotionally fulfilling connections for you, and also that you're able to give that to other people. Because what you're hiding here is a lot of deep emotions. You have the capacity to love so deeply, but again, you've kind of created this coping mechanism and mask to protect yourself from this. This could also be referring to someone you're connected to, that they're very like this, but I do feel like this is all right. I'm back. There's a bit of a break there. The trials and tribulations of filming. My phone died in the middle. I didn't realize till I ended the reading, so we're gonna start back where we left off here. So I was getting a a clarifier for the Four of Wands here, and got the Queen of Swords, and then I pulled a clarifier for the Seven of Swords, which I got the King of Cups. So in regards, there's a personal matter. This could be tied to family, a relationship, you know, some sort of, again, personal matter in regards to, this could be a commitment or a house or a living situation, but you have someone here, this could be you or somebody else, but someone's kind of putting their foot down in regards to a situation. I kind of feel like someone's kind of like, okay, I'm hearing like, I'm done giving wiggle room. I'm done trying to compromise. Like, they're kind of like, this is what I want. This is what I think about it. This is my truth. And you get this Queen of Swords energy here. So I do feel like whatever this situation is, somebody, again, this could be you or the other. So we want to swap here, depending on your situation. But someone's trying to like get out of this situation, or kind of get away with something in regards to the situation. It's almost like you're trying to like do something about this in a way that you're being strategic to still get what you want, but yet you're trying to, again, give this kind of compromise with this person so they feel good about the situation. But I do feel like your approach here, or the other person's approach, is, the truth is it's manipulation. Again, there's not honesty about, hey, what can we do that's right for both of us. It's more of a, well, I'm being sneaky here, like I'm not, there's a bit about I'm not telling the truth, because they could it truly not be telling the truth about the situation. Or they're just trying to get away with something so they don't actually have to fully give in to what either you or this other person wants. And underneath this, again, we got the King of Cups clarifying here. I do feel like there's a lot of deep emotions here, but going back to, that's why I feel like this is more Gemini related, because Geminis, again, I'm getting from this that you or this person has a lot of deep emotions. Like there's a lot underneath the surface here. Like they have a lot of love. There's a lot of emotions, but they tend to almost betray themselves by how they show up in the world, how they respond to the relationship or the situation. Again, there's that manipulation, and it's a way for them to kind of get away without fully accessing and being vulnerable here. Because almost if this is a commitment issue, then this person, it's like they really want to deep down. They love you and they want to commit, but they don't have the capability to commit at the level you want because they cannot be vulnerable. They don't have the capacity to access these emotions, to maturely understand their own emotional body. And on the opposite end, if they can't do it within themselves, they definitely can't be there and show up for your emotions and what you need emotionally. So this is a bit of a conundrum, and I would say whoever is acting out in this way, whether it's you, Gemini, or the person you're connected with, I mean, this obviously is not a healthy dynamic here. And there's really needs to be some self-reflection and awareness here. And I do feel like with the Wheel of Fortune, it will come. It's almost divine timing that this somehow works its way out, no matter how it ends up working out. Obviously, I feel like with the Tower here, the Tower's coming. And if by the time you listen to this message, this could have already happened. But there's a Tower moment. It could be this when the Queen of Swords, whoever that is, finally puts her foot down. But there's a truth. There's something that blows up this dynamic, this pattern. And it's like divine timing. Like this had to happen because you cannot keep going in the pattern that was happening, because it was just keeping everyone stuck. And for the person who isn't really able to access their emotions and really commit and be there in a sense to create a stable, successful relationship, if this is about a relationship, I mean, that needs to be learned. We'll see. Hopefully, sometimes people learn, sometimes they don't. But for no matter what's happening, I do feel like you're going towards something that's going to make you very happy. I do feel like here with this Ten of Pentacles, it could be in regards to abundance or money. You could be changing your focus more on money than relationship, or abundance is coming in. So let's clarify this Ten of Pentacles. So we got the Knight of Swords, the Page of Cups, and the Seven of Cups. So I feel like there's two messages here. I do feel like something's going to happen really quickly, because the Knight of Swords energy is a fast energy in the deck. The Knight of Swords is also a fast energy, like something's moving forward really quickly. there's an eagle here as well in this card. So there is a new sense of freedom that is also pushing things forward quickly. I think on the other hand, part of this, unfortunately, there's a good and bad side to this. I do feel like there is, because of this tower and because of the patterns, I do feel like this is fueled by someone getting angry. And again, this could be back to the Queen of Swords, who also is represented by the Knight of Swords. Someone's getting angry, which is also propelling them to make fast, quick decisions and wanting to like get out of this, again, this dynamic, this pattern. Someone could, one of you, depending on who is the other person, who kind of, again, would be considered, I would say, is the Emperor, the Seven of Swords, and the King of Cups. There might be an offer here trying to like apologize, but it's almost like it's a little too small at this point. Like how your approach to trying to potentially deal with this angry person who to me has some legitimate reasons to be angry. If you're the one who's angry, or again the other, someone tries to apologize, but it's almost like you have a cup here, right? You're trying to offer an apology in a cup, but this person wants the Seven of Cups. Like, are you going to offer the Seven of Cups? Because I feel like unless you offer the Seven of Cups, it's probably not going to do much to balance this out with this person. And that's maybe where this 2 Eight of Cups, that someone eventually does walk away from the situation. But also, I think this is a representation to Gemini of you also identifying this emotional baggage, this emotional pain that you've been carrying, like we said early in the reading, and needing to kind of release that. And I also feel like part of why this happens the way it is and how it plays out is because it's really forcing you, this tower is really forcing you to see the things that are blocking your heart and your emotional body, and kind of almost that dam opening up. And what's interesting is the metaphor I'm also seeing here, which it's kind of mirroring what's happening in the world right now. Like, we are having rainfall in a lot of the world this year that's just, crazy amounts. I know where I'm from in the Midwest, we've had like the most rain since the spring here, that more than I've ever remembered. And again, water, rain is a representation of emotions. And I almost see like this flooding of emotions, but instead of allowing yourself to feel them and express them, I do feel like you've been damming them up. You've been damming, pushing them down, and you have this wall right up that represents like the dam. And it comes to a point where there's too much emotions that you've been pushing down from the past, that all of a sudden the dam breaks. It's too much for the dam to hold. The wall has to come down, because the wall has been the issue for you that's been blocking your heart chakra. And it's interesting, I don't see the Four of Pentacles here, but that would be fitting for this as well. But I feel like the Emperor is kind of that representation of the wall, like the personality and kind of that exterior kind of mask you've put on is kind of a coping mechanism. It's your wall, it's your protection mechanism, because you're like, I'm not going that deep with people. So again, you're attracting situations, people, and experiences that are really either supporting you keeping the wall up, or they're going to really test you so that they're trying to help you break the wall down, Gemini. And guess what? It hasn't been working, but right now, divine timing, the universe is like, it's time. And the universe is stepping in, and that's why this is happening in July. And this is happening, you know, the Tower moments and the Death card are coming up for everyone for the month of July. So you're no exception here. It's happening for everyone right now. So in regards to this Ten of Pentacles, this could be also family, karmic, ancestral karma also, that also needs to be addressed. If there's issues with money too, I feel like there's a money gap in this connection that's also feeling this anger. And again, something to think about, Gemini, if this is you, just know that the only thing you can offer this person is everything they want, and the person deserves it. And on the other hand too, if you're asking someone to give you the Seven of Cups and they're only offering a cup, like, what is your value, right? And what is your kind of boundary with that? And I do think the person, this is going to end with somebody not being able to offer the other what they really deserve and desire. So but again, like I said, you got the Miracles card. Out of this comes some sort of miracle if you can, again, find that harmony between your mind and your heart. Take the lead. You're being asked to take the lead in the situation, Gemini, because whoever's going to lead from the heart is going to get the miracles, okay? And that includes abundance in love and all the good stuff that comes with the whole umbrella of abundance here. So before we go, I'm just going to pull one for the Tower here, just for fun, to see how the Tower shows up. King of Pentacles, yes, Six of Cups, and Page of Pentacles. So the Tower is here to say, have you learned your lesson? And this is about, you know, this revolves too around somebody who is too much focused on the external world and not focused enough on the internal world within themselves, which again is their heart and their emotional body. And it's way too much. And again, the Tower's coming in to blow this up. I think it's going to blow a dam up that's been around, that you've kind of built up since childhood. And it's helping you learn the lesson. And this is kind of like, this is the final lesson, right? So this is what's going to really kind of close this pattern up for you. If you are aware and learn from this situation and are able to become, this is about self-awareness. This isn't about pointing and blaming the other person either. So like I said, whatever side you're on, there is also some self-awareness of if you're the one who's not getting what you need from this situation. There is some self-awareness here too about why you stayed in this situation and potentially tolerated this sort of, you know, manipulation or kind of, again, treatment. And it's like, but I think the positive here is the lesson is going to be learned so that it doesn't happen again. But if you also get in another situation and you approach it the exact same way, I mean, it's like there is, again, a miracle here that this, I feel like it is going to be learned and it is going to close this pattern up. But there's always, like, as long as you're here on earth, we're going to continue to be tested and brought in situations where it's just how we respond, right? It's all about how we respond. So intense month of July, Gemini. So just, I guess, be prepared, be aware. Maybe if you've seen this, you know, early on, maybe you can shift what happens here because you are approaching it in a different way. So I will leave you with that, Geminis. Have a good July, and I'll see you in the next reading.